hurting because their old man got his ass kicked. All right, all good things come to an end. Yep, you got it.
All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and we'll go to questions in the room.
Okay. Well, all good things coming to an end, and you know, when you're my age, you've seen it all, and got a lot of guys hurting in there. But part of life is learning how to deal with disappointment the proper way, and you know, come back a stronger person because of the experience. You know, you never get everything you want in life. It's how life is. So, but it doesn't diminish what these guys accomplished, for sure, this season, which everyone in this room can detail out what this team's accomplished. A lot of firsts. So proud of them. You know, it's easy to say we didn't play our best game, but a lot of that was probably because of who we played. I thought Riley Leonard was excellent, handling the pressure, getting rid of the ball. You know, defensively, they pretty much suffocated our offense till the last minute and a half of the game. And their skill guys made good plays. They played well. And they beat us and deserved to beat us. And I am happy that our guys didn't give up and pounded those 2 scores in on 2-minute drives at the end. And I mean, you just never know. You know, you make that 2-point play, you recover one more kick. It's just a crazy game, right? I mean, the way it was going, you're looking at the game saying to yourself, well, this is probably going to end up about 40-3 or something like that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying that, but you probably were thinking that. And here you are scoring 27-17 with an opportunity to make a 2-point conversion, kick another onside kick to tie the game. So Notre Dame's a good football team. Wish them the best of luck moving forward. And I'm proud of our guys. With that, I'll take some questions.
We'll start on the right with Zach, and then go to Mike.
Kurt, just in terms of, I don't know if you'd pin it on any one thing, whether it's the offense, the pick, maybe some of the third downs, but did you feel like your team just kind of never got off its heels?
Oh, yeah,
tonight?
Absolutely. We completed that long pass to Surratt early in the game, got down there and threw that interception on a tempo play. They come right out, 98-yard guy in the wrong gap. You know what I mean? We can't catch them. Bigger, stronger, faster. And, you know, it was tough sledding.
We'll go Niz on your right.
Kurt, you kind of hinted at what your answer might be, but in terms of, I think you mentioned missed tackles in every interview you did during the game. What do you attribute some of those things to that they didn't crop up kind of during the season, but tonight, was it just their skill players being a little bit faster than you guys maybe
when you play
anticipated?
good people that move faster, have better change of direction, quicker change of direction, they're harder to tackle. And I think that was the case tonight, you know, a lot of times.
We'll go front to Todd.
Notre Dame was 5 of 7 on third down in the first half. Just you know, what were they doing to make it difficult to keep them from getting off the field?
Well, I can't remember every single play off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I do remember Riley Leonard, us having Riley Leonard in our grasp and him being able to still complete the throw and the receiver making a nice catch to extend drives. You know, I think they made a number of nice catches that I can recall, low here or there. You know, there was a point in the game when it appeared that we were starting to put some pressure on Riley Leonard near the end of the first half. We're getting closer and closer. But again, I give him a lot of credit. He's a really good athlete with a quick release that has played a lot of football. He's got body quickness and twitch, and you know, he's able to get rid of that ball and throw the check down to the running back and get a positive play. And not everybody that plays that position can make that play. You know, I'm not sure that really answers your question, but you know, they made plays and we didn't.
We'll go Sith on your left, then Zach B behind him.
Kurt, when you think about, when you think about everything that this team accomplished this year, how do you think this team should be remembered?
Well, you are what your record says you are, right? So 11-2, tied for second in the Big Ten, made the college football playoff, and packed the stadium, made a lot of people proud, and had a historic season, right? And so set the foundation for, hopefully what's to come.
Zach, be on your left, and then Rick.
Coach, right now, what do you think the biggest difference between a team like Notre Dame and a team like Indiana is right now?
They probably got more depth than we do, and they probably have some frontline guys that are just a little bit bigger, stronger, faster than our guys.
Rick in the back.
Back here, you guys are down 23, I think, with like 11, 12 minutes to go. 3 scores behind you, decided to punt there. What
Yeah.
went through your mind not going?
I mean,
for it?
I didn't want to punt, but we were doing nothing on offense, and our defense was fighting. That was the only positive really that I could draw, is our defense was still fighting, because offense was doing nothing. And I didn't want to go 4th and 10. It's like you're just wishing and hoping. You have nothing to base it on that you can convert 4th and 10 at that point, right? And there's still time if you punt to win the game. So that was the reason why. I didn't want to do it, but I felt like it was the best move.
We'll go front right to Ravi and Daniel.
Yeah, Coach, your offense just getting 3 points until the last minute and a half or whatever it was. What were the biggest issues? Was it just Notre Dame playing well, or were there things you guys maybe look back and go, maybe we could have done A, B, or C?
No, I think they played well. And, there were probably some pretty ordinary things that we normally would execute that we didn't get done very well. I can remember Miles Cross coming wide open on a corner route, we overthrow him, and things like that. There were things like that. But, they put the pressure on us. They have good players. And, they won the line of scrimmage. They won the one-on-one matchups on the perimeter. They affected the quarterback, and they swarmed the ball.
We'll go Daniel on the right, and then Pete.
I want to say you mentioned that you want the whole year to just kind of set the stage. Why is this stage and a height like this achievable?
Well, this team earned it, the right to be here. I'm not sure we proved tonight to a lot of people that. Does that answer your question? Repeat your question again.
Long term, as you look ahead, why are heights like this attainable long term?
Well, everything's about recruiting and development, and now retention, right? So every year you got to start over now in college football. It's not quite the NFL, but it's getting close. So you can change a lot of things in a year. Now, the one thing about the way the calendar's set right now is when you do make college football playoff, you're kind of penalized in the portal recruiting area, because like we didn't have any official visits this week because I wanted 100% focus on our preparation for Notre Dame. So that's time that last year we were spending on the portal, right? So, but we got a good nucleus coming back, and we'll be okay.
And last one in the back to Pete.
Yeah, Coach, just what is the plan for the next week or so in terms of getting the portal, everything, dialed in?
Well, we're going to get back in tonight around 3:50 in the morning, and we've got 7 recruits on campus tomorrow morning on official visits. And Saturday and Sunday we can have them on, and Monday's dead. It's a dead period all the way until January the 5th. And then we have 1 week we can bring portal guys in for official visits from the 6th to the 12th of January. But understand that probably 80% of the portal guys that are good players have made their decisions already. So, that's just where we're at.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan. We'll start with Mike, and then we'll go to Jim.
Yeah, Mike, just with Curtis Rourke, his struggles kind of through the first three quarters of the game, what do you attribute to them? Just them kind of getting pressure, just him not feeling comfortable in the pocket? What did you see from Curtis tonight?
Well, I thought we actually did a pretty good job in protection for most of the game. They made it really challenging on you to get completions and get him in rhythm. I think we had a drop early on an RPO. Credit to Notre Dame's defensive backs. That's a really good unit, one of the better units we faced all year long. And, we weren't able to win some of those 50-50 contested catches that, we knew we were going to have to win a good amount of those in this game to have success. So, again, credit to Notre Dame. They challenged us, and they got the better of us on those kind of throws.
We'll go Jim from on your left. Mike's right behind you. And then Zach.
Mike, I know that you respected Notre Dame's defensive line, but tonight it looked like they were just quicker as opposed to outmanning the offensive line for Indiana and causing those problems that they were causing for Curtis.
Yeah, that's a good unit. They're just really good defense. And they did some movement stuff up front. They were blitzing one or two backers a lot throughout the game as well. And I thought, we cracked some runs. It just made it hard whenever we got behind the schedule. And we were trying to run the ball at times on third down to get us in a fourth and manageable, or obviously we felt like those runs could convert as well. So, it was a combination of some of the movement and the blitzing that they had in their plan. And, I thought, we were a little bit inconsistent in picking that up at times, but I know our guys up front battled, and they made it hard on us. They really did.
We'll go right to Zach and then back to Rick.
Mike, over here. Not asking you to second guess necessarily, but you guys have been so good at getting Curtis in that rhythm that you talk about, especially with the RPOs, letting him kind of make those decisions and just get a good feel for the game. As a play caller, what's the difficulty and maybe the balance in a game like this where you see your quarterbacks not in rhythm between persisting with what's gotten him there all season versus trying to change something up, trying to throw something different at him, just maybe seeing if that kind of breaks his funk?
Yeah, all year long we try to have that good balance of not RPOs, but also run-it runs where he might be reading somebody, or we're using a receiver in motion to block the extra hat in the box and create misfits, along with the RPOs, along with the quick game, along with us trying to throw the ball down the field and create explosive plays that way. That was our plan in this game as well. I thought that Curtis made some good decisions. The D-line batted one or two of his passes away where he had guys open, and that's sort of the give and takes at times that you have. But I felt like Curtis was seeing it well out there on the field. I thought he was making the right decision. There may have been one or two throughout the game, especially early on. But then once he got settled in, I didn't think his decision making was the issue at all. Again, they did a good job switching up their coverages. When we thought we had something, then they would change it up, and that was that cat and mouse game that we were playing.
We'll go Rick back left and then Sammy.
Yeah, you guys got the interception and the pass to Elijah early on, and got down in the red zone. Went pretty quick on the next play, and he threw the pick. Looked like there was double coverage there. Did you mean to go that quick? And what did you see? What happened on the interception?
Yeah, we part of our plan was to change up the tempos, and that's something that we do every game. And you just want to keep the defense on their heels. If I remember correctly, I think they subbed. They were in their third down defense, and we were trying to catch them in a substitution after a big play. Curtis, I think, the first read was there. He worked through the progression, and he's made that throw 1,000 times, a little bit off the target, and number 0. He's been making great plays all year long for those guys, and made another great catch. So, and that was the one thing about that first half. We had the ball, I think, in the red zone twice, came away with 3 points, and against a good team like this, you got to capitalize on those things.
we'll go Sammy, and then last one is Seth.
Yeah, you mentioned red zone, but you guys were at the 50 or in Notre Dame territory for 4 drives in that first half. What did they do to prevent you from getting into scoring zones or making the most of those opportunities?
Well, I think it was refers back to the question earlier. The D-line created some penetration. We were trying to establish the run, which we were doing a good job of. We had some runs come out early in the first half, and whenever we went back to it, maybe it was a 1-yard gain or they were in the backfield for a TFL, kind of got off schedule there and weren't able to overcome whenever we got behind the chains. And again, credit to their defense and their plan. But yeah, that was tough whenever we couldn't capitalize on good field position.
All right, last one is Seth, front left.
Mike, big picture with everything this team accomplished this season, how should this team be remembered?
Well, I hope they're remembered for the way they played all year long and not just this one game. But I know that these guys really battle, and I think you saw that there in the fourth quarter, and there was no give up. And just really proud of the way that they came in and approached their work all year long. It was a really fun group to coach. Everybody bought in, but I guess the record and the history books kind of speak for themselves, and hopefully they're a team that's remembered for a long time.
Great, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll start defensive coordinator Brian Haynes. We'll start on the right with Zach, and then we'll go to Todd.
Brian, I guess it just seemed like there were a lot of moments when the pressure almost gets there and either Leonard slips away, gets the ball out, a tough catch somewhere. Just did you feel like it was kind of one where a lot of the plays that you've been making that have set teams really far behind the chains this season were just kind of maybe just an inch a little kind of too far away at times tonight?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I thought the guys competed, played hard. All credit to Notre Dame. I mean, it's a good football team. I thought that quarterback played really well. I thought he would make a few errors here and there, and he didn't seem to. He was composed. And like you said, we weren't able to rattle him. We didn't get home. We came close to getting home, but especially against a good athlete, getting close to getting home just not enough. He wasn't affected and stood in the pocket, delivered the throws he needed to throw, and took what we gave him. He was very composed and had a great game.
We'll go on your left to Todd in the front, and then Zach B.
Kind of along that same theme, I mean, I think it was 5 of 7 on third down in the first half. How demoralizing is it? How tough is it to kind of come back from the demoralizing effect when Leonard is able to make plays with his legs and keep third down, drives alive?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the most frustrating thing that you can have happen to a defense is they keep the drive going, right? Now, I think that they did a good job of staying on schedule. Some of those third downs were, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Those are a little tougher to win than your 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12s. Thought they stayed in rhythm. They kept us on the field. We got a little bit tired and just didn't make the plays we had to make. But yeah, I mean, credit goes to them. That's a really good football team. I was probably maybe a hair more conservative than I, looking back, wish I would have been. Maybe I should have brought that one extra guy. Maybe that would have been the difference.
We'll go Zach B, second row left, and then we'll go Mike.
Coach, when you're looking at a team like Notre Dame or even back to that loss against Ohio State, what's the biggest difference in your eyes between teams like that and a team like your Indiana team right now?
The thing I noticed is the margin for error is just so small. I mean, they get the ball on the -2 yard line. I put in a simple, kind of gapped out call. I mean, I was thinking about even being more aggressive. I was like, hey, talking to Aiden Fisher, like, you want to go attack him? Maybe we can get 2 points here. Nah, let's put in a nice conservative call. You misfit it a little bit, and that thing rips you for 98 yards and 6 points. I mean, that's how small the margin for error is against elite teams. I felt that way against Ohio State. I felt that way again tonight.
We'll go on your right to Mike, and then Daniel.
Yeah, did you get a chance to talk to James Carpenter after the game? He makes gets called for the penalty, obviously not a purpose mistake, but it's his last game. You've been with him forever. What do you tell him, and how tough in that moment is to see that happen to a guy that's worked so hard for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's down on himself. I mean, I got a chance to give him a quick hug, but, there's a lot of emotional guys in that locker room and guys that I've been with for a long time and love. And do I fault him for making a mistake? No. I mean, that guy is just going to play as hard as he can possibly play every single snap he's on the field. And how can you hate that? Do I wish he had pulled off? Sure, but I love him for the way that he is and how hard he plays.
We'll go front right to Daniel and then Ravi.
How do you manage the emotions of a year where you re-energize a town, completely change a mindset, and then ultimately end like this?
I think you just try to build off of it. I think what we have here is a foundation. I think that, and I told some of the guys that are hurting in that locker room, like, we built something here. This is a building block. There's a foundation that's laid, and now the standards are upped. And I'm just proud. I'm proud of the unit, and yeah, I'm bummed about tonight. They're bummed about tonight. We could have done a lot of things better, but it doesn't take away from what we've accomplished. And I think this is the first step to many.
Front right to Ravi and then Seth.
The season on the whole, you guys had a lot of really good performances. Holding Nebraska to, I think, one score. Shout out Purdue, a number of other things. Like, why do you think you guys played at the level you did this year? And is this a level that you can tell future recruits, hey, this is how you do it at Indiana?
To your last question, that's 100% what I'm going to tell recruits. I'm going to say, this is Indiana football. Indiana defense. Like, do you want to be a part of this? We stop the run. We harass quarterbacks. Tonight doesn't change that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell recruits. And, yeah, just thankful for the season all along the way. The ups and the downs. I mean, there's just a good season overall. I'm bummed about tonight again, but credit to Notre Dame. They did the things they needed to do, and we just couldn't make the plays we had to.
Front row left to Seth, and then last one to Jack.
What will you remember most about this team, this group of players, and what should, I guess, fans remember most about this team?
That's a good one. There's a lot of good memories there. I think I'll look back and just remember how much they've changed things. And again, this is coming from a guy that was here before. I was in those locker rooms. I was at Indiana. I know what it meant to be an Indiana football player in 2012. It's a different era now, and these guys changed it forever.
Last one, front row, far left to Jack.
Yeah, Brian, you said you were a little bit more conservative than you wanted to be. I mean, did you go into the game wanting to be aggressive, and then it sort of just changed based on how the game was going, or how would you kind of explain that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. In my mind, I saw a chance of being aggressive, but again, a lot of it for me is the flow of the game. Whether it be like, how is the offense doing? What's the field position? I wanted to be aggressive against Ohio State. All of a sudden they get the ball, maybe on the 30 going in. Like, that changes things. Like, there's some situational football in there. But I guess all said and done, looking back at it, especially on third down, I had intentions of being a little bit more aggressive. But that 35 seconds goes fast. You have to come up with a call, put it in, get the guys all playing together, and hindsight's 20/20.
Great, thanks, Brian.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Right to left, quarterback Curtis Rourke, running back Justice Ellison, offensive lineman Mike Kadek. We'll start with Zach, and we'll go to Todd.
Mike, I'm going to ask you to pull together 6 years in like 30 seconds probably, but you saw this program rise and then dip and then rise again. Just how do you sort of, if you're giving somebody the elevator speech of what Indiana football is capable of based on what you've experienced, what you've been a part of, what is it?
I know what the history of Indiana football, and I'm really excited about the future of it. But just, a gritty group of guys that come to work every day and put everything into their body of work, and just really proud of this team and how we came out this season.
We'll go left in the front to Todd, and then to Mike.
Curtis, it looked like it was just difficult to get into the kind of rhythm that you've become accustomed to being in this year. What was Notre Dame doing to make it difficult to achieve the rhythm?
There wasn't really anything new that we expected them to do. They came out and did what we expected, and just a lack of execution on my part, and it just didn't help. So finishing some drives, and so we just got to be better in finishing those drives, and like we were able to in the last in the fourth quarter, but we just I need to be better.
We'll go far right to Mike, and then to Josh.
Curtis, what'd you see in the early interception? And then did it take you a minute to kind of get back in sync after that, or a little while to kind of get in the flow of the game?
Yeah, it was just man-to-man coverage, just trying to get him just with tempo play, and just threw it a little bit too far, and defender made a nice play, but didn't need to make that throw in that situation.
We'll go second row left to Josh, and then to Daniel.
Justice, you said you came to Indiana to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Do you believe that you set the foundation for a better future for Indiana football now?
Without a doubt. I got a little emotional at the end of the game because, I feel like this university, Bloomington, they gave me an opportunity. I was on my 4th or 5th year, and, I took a chance, and I came to, a town. I was like, hey, I want to be able to make something out of it. And so I believe that this year, it's hard as a competitor to kind of like be settled of what you've done in the past, but we've done a lot. I think the foundation is something that I wanted to start, leave a legacy with the guys that, come in every single day working hard, loving each other, sacrificing, blood, sweat, and tears every single day. And, I plan to come back and see how far the foundation has grown. So, yeah.
Daniel on your right, and then Pete.
Yeah, Mike, what are you proudest of?
As a whole, I'm so proud of how this team has, played this season as, usually the underdog. A lot of people doubted us all year, but we kind of stuck to us. We kind of just relied on each other in each room, and we proved a lot of people wrong, and there's so much more to be proud of, but I don't want to get too emotional up here.
Pete.
For all you guys, what made Notre Dame's defensive front so difficult to deal with tonight?
I think up front they're not the biggest group, but they're super twitchy and fast, and they're bringing a lot of different packages and movements, and bringing the linebackers, cross dogs, arrows, kind of all that different things. And then up front they really didn't play us straight all game. They were always moving and doing different things, but that's kind of what I saw up front.
Yeah. Pete back left, and then Zach B.
Curtis, I guess, what are you most proud of, and how emotional is it that it's over?
I'm just proud of the guys in this journey. A lot of us have been new to this program this year, and the guys that have been here for years, like Mike. I just so proud of how we've come together as a team, and been able to make a memorable season like it has been. And although it wasn't the way that we wanted to end it, just glad that we were able to do it together, and kind of start the dynasty of Indiana as it moves forward, and I'm just looking forward to watching it. But it really hadn't set in for me that this was lit for me in college, and it definitely hurts.
We'll go Zach B, second row, and then end with Seth.
Curtis, you mentioned the lack of execution tonight. Was that something that they were doing specifically defensively that led to that?
I just didn't play in rhythm myself. My eyes weren't in the best spot sometimes, and it's easier to play when you're in rhythm. And I didn't help myself in that way. Notre Dame's definitely got some great players and schemed well, but I felt like I hurt the offense more than they stopped us.
Last one to Seth.
Mike, what will you remember most about this team, this group of guys, and how should fans remember this team?
I'm going to remember this team as the closest team that I've ever been a part of. Just a group of guys that came to work every day and left everything out there, and I'm so happy that I could have been a part of it. I'm so happy I made the decision to come back, and I think fans and everyone should see what we did this year. We changed the trajectory of Indiana football. We changed the way people think about Indiana football, and I'm just so happy that I could have been a part of it. I'm so thankful that to all these guys and all my teammates and coaches that it's just awesome to be a part of, and I'm so happy and blessed.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, from your right to left, defensive lineman James Carpenter, linebacker Aiden Fisher, and linebacker Jalen Walker. We'll start with Jack, and then we'll go to Mike.
Sorry. Aiden, what did you sort of see on the 98-yard run there early in the game?
Just a misfit on the front seven, really. We knew what we were going to get. We played a little too aggressive. Some guys jumped out of their gaps, and I'll take fault for that one. Just we got to play our gaps better and play more discipline.
Go Mike on your right, and then Todd.
James, you get called for the penalty. How tough is it in that moment, on this big stage to kind of have that happen, but then obviously stay focused, credit for the blocked field goal. Kind of what were the emotions like kind of in that second half, the ups and downs, kind of highs and lows for you?
Yeah, it was disappointing. Obviously, I can't be doing that. It was full speed. It was kind of bang play, but at the same time, as a senior, as a leader, I can't be doing that. But this team, we don't quit. That's what we're built on, and yeah, we're gonna fight till the end.
Go on your left to Todd, and then to Zach.
James, Notre Dame was good on third down tonight, especially in the first half. When you have a quarterback like Riley Leonard, how difficult is it to account for that as he's kind of keeping plays alive and keeping things going?
Yeah, that was one of our main focuses kind of going into this game was to limit him on the ground. When the play breaks down, we know he can get out. He's super athletic, super fast, and that's a big part of his game. So we didn't do a good enough job of that tonight. You really got to be sound when it comes to that. So it's really on the front forward, just kind of good lanes, good pass rush lanes, stuff like that. And we just didn't do a good enough job tonight.
All right, we'll go to Josh and then Zach B.
Aiden, the theme has kind of been you guys set the foundation for what's to come next year. Do you believe that this year set that foundation for a better future for Indiana football?
Yeah, for sure. You kind of look at the track that Indiana football was on previously before we got here. Then you look now, it's kind of a full 180. I think we've laid the foundation of what Indiana football can be and what it is now. And, I expect to be right back here next year.
All right, Zach O, then Zach B.
I guess for Jalen or James, either one of you, you talk so much about the identity you brought from James Madison. Aiden talks about laying the foundations there. Do you feel like you leave behind you not just the success of this season, but the identity of this defense, the way you were able to pressure quarterbacks, stop the run, be aggressive the way Coach Haynes talks about? Do you feel like that's something that kind of imprints on this program and stays even as you guys move on?
100%. You know what I mean? That's just the image of the defense, being fast, physical, relentless. And like when me and James leaving, we still have Aiden Fisher, Mikal Kamara. We still have leaders on this team that's been with the system. So like it's still gonna keep going. We're not letting up.
James, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, he said it well. It's kind of our identity, the defense. Play fast, get upfield, make plays in the backfield. That's kind of what this defense is built on, and I know Coach Haynes is going to keep that going.
Zach B, then Seth.
Aiden, when you look at the only 2 losses this season against Notre Dame and Ohio State, what's different about those teams and what makes them so good and so tough to play?
Definitely 2 great teams. They definitely played a great football game today. As did Ohio State, we played them. I would just say we made a lot of critical errors that was kind of hard to play 2 teams. Playing against yourself and playing against the opposing team. Just a lot of things I think just we could control, and we kind of let it affect us a lot. So just looking back on it, just 2 great teams. I'm not really going to compare them, but they'll both be making a run here in the playoffs. So good for them. They deserve to win today. They played a better game than we did.
Seth, and the last one to Ravi.
James, you last week called it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in a position like this. Obviously, it didn't go your way tonight, but on the whole, just what will you remember most about this season, this group of guys that you played with, and what should everybody else remember most about this team?
Yeah, I mean, I can go on and on for that question. Coming to this year, no one thought we'd be here. We have a lot of doubters, a lot of haters. For us to kind of make this run, get to this point, it's been surreal. It's been unbelievable. Something I'll remember for the rest of my life. These guys up here, the rest of the guys of the team, they'll be at my wedding, brothers for life. So that's the kind of bond we have, and this program's only going up. Coach Shig is just getting started here. He wins. He's going to get it done, and his program's on the right track.
Last one on your right to Ravi.
Yeah, for Aiden, just big picture, the way you guys played defense all year, why do you feel you were so successful, and what are the things that need to stay for the defense to sort of make this a level you maintain?
First, you start with the scheme. We have a really good scheme that Coach Haynes puts us in. He puts us in positions to succeed. We're a fast defense. A lot of people look at our defense. We're not the biggest guys, but we do have speed, which kind of combats a lot of the things that these offenses do. And then moving forward, I would just say, we just got to stay disciplined. You look at the 2 losses we had this year, we're just getting out leveraged in angles. We're just one guy's just trying to do a little too much, and he doesn't need to. We got to this point just being ourselves and playing the way that we play. And, in these big games, you can't defer from that. You just got to just play your game and just be disciplined in the way you play, and, just things like that. Just the little things that, ultimately amounted to the big things tonight.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone. Travel safely.